Yo, what's going on to all my sports peeps out there? It's your favorite sports podcast. You don't know the name? We gotta put you on game.
Yeah.
It's the Zone Sports
Pew, pew, pew,
Podcast.
pew.
You know what I mean? I'm one half of your host, your boy Big V. I'm here with the other half of the host of the show. Let them know who you be, my G.
Yo, it's your boy COOL. Still wondering what the hell? It's your boy Corey, never telling the same old tired story. It's your boy Cool C, never dated a floozy. For those out there in YouTube land, we got the sign out for you. Right there, it's your boy Corey, Big Vito. What's happening, my guy?
Man, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm doing great. You know what I'm saying? On this nice Carolina day. You know what I mean? Before we jump the pot off, I gotta let them know who we sponsored by. We sponsored by my brand, Skyzone.Society. So make sure you're shopping at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. Head over there right now. Pre-order that Magic Pots and EP dropping $7.29. All pre-orders going out $7.24. Digital and physical copies. Go do it now, man. You know what I mean? Corey, what's popping with you, my G? You good?
Hey, man, we good over here, man. You know, just in Daughter Chronicles number 235, she basically crawled out of the crib onto the bassinet. We had the bassinet literally right beside the crib. And we put in a sleeper. For those parents out there, sleeper means the feet aren't supposed to be as mobile. So we decided to put her to bed a little bit early on Sunday night. She was crying like crazy, and she all of a sudden got quiet. Okay, cool. Let me pop in on the baby monitor camera, see what the business is.
Right.
Lo and behold, I did not see her in that crib, Big V. And so, I just, I'm 42, man. My eyes got to get checked every so often. And I did get a new pair of contacts. So I'm thinking maybe I missed something, Big V. And so I took my wife to the phone. I'm like, ma'am, do you see your daughter in this crib? She said, no. Upstairs, downstairs. I didn't hear a thud or anything. And so I'm like, holy smoke, where's our daughter gone at? Like, what, like she's one. Like, where's she at? This girl literally MacGyvered the situation and stood up, shifted her body right back and forth until she flipped over head first, hand first, into the bassinet out of the crib. Needless to say, we needed to move the bassinet out the way. She's getting way too adventurous, and this is only the beginning, and I'm scared as hell. Yeah.
Yep, that sounds about right. You know what I mean? That sounds about right. I'm not even surprised. I can't even say how many times that my kids have got just flipped out of the crib, middle of the night, whatever. You know what I mean? You may hear a thud, you may not. You know what I'm saying? You may hear a strange crawl sound at the door, like, yo, why is that my door? Like, what is that? And it's the baby. It's the baby. Yeah. But those are things that she's gonna do. She's gonna be all right, man. No, you sound like me. I used to be worried all the time.
Boy,
I promise you. Don't be. It's all right. And if she get hurt, I promise you, man, it's okay. I was a helicopter parent.
Okay.
Trust me.
I got to remove myself from that because I feel like that's what's happening right now.
It is.
Helicopter-ish, definitely.
I see it all over your face. Definitely helicopter vibes. Trust me. My wife used to say, hey, you got to relax. She's going to be all right. She has to get hurt. She has to get hurt. We all did it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cycle of life. You know what I mean? I get it, though. She's a little delicate thing. But, they're stronger than what they look,
You ain't kidding.
I promise you. Man. Yeah, they strong, man. You know what I mean? Speaking of strong, you know what I mean? It's time to get something popping on this strong pause. What the hell segment? Corey, I know somebody is drowning in the depths of shame out there, and I know you're going to bring it to us, Corey. Hey, but they may not know that they're drowning in the depths of shame, and that's what makes the what the hell segment so great. You know what I mean? Because we see right through it. So, Corey, let them know who we're sponsored by, my G.
It's co-sponsored by my baby girl downstairs who just like to climb all over the place. It is envisioned by Big Vito, brought to you by me, my damn self solo, MC Hammer. Please don't hurt them. Vanilla Ice, everything. Ice, going quadruple, super diamond platinum. You know what I'm saying? Solo. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Big V. Michael Jordan got to be stopped, bro. Michael Jordan got to be stopped.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Is my GOAT? Tell me my GOAT is not making the what the hell segment.
He is actually not.
Okay, good.
He is not. But
he got to be stopped though.
He got to be stopped.
Okay.
Big V, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the greatest player in basketball history, who played for our beloved Tar Heels back in the early 80s. He had I know he sold the Hornets. He still got minority say or stake in this deal here with the Charlotte Hornets. And, he made a draft pick who we thought was questionable this past season with Brandon Miller. And if you recall, Brandon Miller stated that Paul George was his GOAT, right? No cap, no line. He's dead ass serious, right? Oh, but for the second week, making his appearance on Corey's What the Hell segment, Brandon Miller. Big V, it's sick when I got to pull out the iPad for this. Let me read you a little bit of something here.
Oh my goodness. This
is from, let me get my source here, WisconsinSportsHeroics.com. Never heard of him, but this is reported at a whole bunch of different sites. NBA News, Big V. Brandon Miller reacts to backlash from trolling Milwaukee's Bucks star Chris Middleton. You may be wondering what's going on here. Good. I'm glad you asked, Big V. Thank you for asking these thought-provoking questions here. Let me kind of break it down for you.
Okay.
Charlotte Hornets Brandon Miller made headlines for all the wrong reasons lately when he inadvertently revealed that he does not know who Chris Middleton is. The number 2 overall pick was asked to build his NBA starting 5 using the app. Now, let me give you a little bit of history. This is all on Twitter. The app basically randomizes players at their said position, starting guard, forward, center, point guard, you name it, and the faces pop up there. And again, I'm an NBA head. I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm a league pass guy where I'm just watching everything, but I definitely catch up on the good matchups, and I watch all the Lakers games, right? I can understand maybe a super casual fan not knowing who Chris Middleton is. But basically, let me scroll down a little bit, because I got to do this justice, right? So you got a randomizer. I'm not sure how well the camera is going to pick it up here, but you got a randomizer. I don't know the name of this app, but basically what it does, you push the button and it spits out faces of who you want to start your team with. And, I guess almost like Tinder or however that site works, I wouldn't know. I'm just assuming. You hit stop and it stays on that player. And then you say, hey, you want to do it again? It keeps that said player, but then start randomizing the rest of the positions later. Well, before saying anything else, Brandon Miller was quoted as saying, I'll keep the small forward, whoever that is. Now, that small forward, Big V, is Chris Middleton from the world champion Milwaukee Bucks. Now, not only did he not know who he was, he tended to come back and walk it back saying, oh, I know who he was. I was just trolling. I'm trolling him and I'm trolling the news. Let me go ahead and get a little bit more deep into this here. And I quote,
pause.
Yep. I think people should have more fun in the NBA instead of just always being serious. I think I could bring the fun back to the game. I troll the media for fun, he said. Now, Big V, this is the second time in a row, almost under a month maybe, that we done brought up Brandon Miller and his ridiculousness. Now, first of all, you're lucky that you're not in jail over the whole accessory to murder deal when you was at Alabama, right? So you would think and I get it. Oh, he's young. I'm young. I was young too. I'm sorry. We can't keep making excuses for grown men. Now you skated on that. How he didn't even get charged in that probably had to do with the idea that he dribbles a basketball for the great Alabama University, right? All right, cool, fine, whatever. You done kind of got past that, right? And then you remember when we did the what the hell with this guy a few weeks ago, it's like, man, this may not be nothing, but it might be something. This was right before the draft, but I'm like, Jordan, man, I don't know, man. This guy's maturity is leaving a lot to be desired to me with the whole Paul George thing. But you know what? If Paul George is his GOAT, that ain't really the worst thing in the world. I still question it, but whatever. But now, Big V, keep in mind, Brandon Miller has not played not one single solitary minute of regular season NBA basketball. Not only that, you're a rookie. Not only that, you're going to sit up here and fix your face and say, you, a professional basketball player, don't know who Chris Middleton is. Now, I'm sorry. Again, it's kind of hard for me to bring my way out of this for the super casual fan, but you know who Chris Middleton is. He is a world champion, okay? Something you are not yet, okay? He is an NBA All-Star. Something you are not yet. He is a veteran in the game. You are not yet. What is the humility and being humble when you first come in? Like, yo, man, ain't trying to make no waves. Man, I'm trying to get in where I fit in. I'm just trying to learn from my coach and my teammates, man, and take it how I get it. But you gonna sit up here and say, I'm trying to make the game fun again? Time out. Listen, bro, I don't know who you think you are, but you ain't that dude who you think that you are yet. Maybe you will be. But as of today, as of July the 19th at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, who the hell do you think you can sit up here and try to ignore the greatness of Chris Middleton? Are you kidding me? Now, is Chris Middleton a household name? No, I'm not. I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that. But dude, you better show some daggone respect. And don't worry about having fun in the NBA yet. Your main focus is to be the best player you could be, take the tutelage from whoever you need to get it from so you can get your way to your second contract. You need to prove that you are not a bust. Brandon Miller, what the hell, bro?
And and to add on to some other things that Chris Middleton is that Brandon Miller isn't obviously a class act. You know what I mean? Let's start there.
Absolutely. That's the guy.
Yeah.
You gonna come at? Come on, man.
Dude. Chris Middleton, who was a vital piece to that championship and that team, like it's guys like him. And see, this is, it's guys like him and guys like Al Horford who
that's right.
Who nobody needs to bother. Those gentlemen don't bother nobody. They've been class acts their whole NBA career. They've been on the radar, and they've both been vital pieces to their teams.
Mm-hmm.
Both. And for you to sit here and act like that you don't know who Chris Middleton is, and again, this is not for the casual fan, but dude, you're a fucking basketball player. Knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. And oh, by the way that you hooped in the summer league, you're not destined to be a champion either in my book. If you keep hooping that way. I watched it. You weren't that impressive. No. I get it. Summer league, I know, but you got some long way to go before you try to. Absolutely. Before you try to let's get your game together before you try to make the game fun again. You know what I mean? Like, fam, you was just in some murder bullshit. You don't need to be trying to make anything fun again right now. No.
You are lucky to be in the league.
No.
What are you talking about?
Just
insane.
No, I can't. Yeah. What the hell, man? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? We're gonna keep it NBA because, Corey, again, it's been it's kind of slow in the sports world right now while we waiting on the NFL season to come back. You know what I mean? The summer league holding us down a little bit with the NBA. The WNBA also is holding us down too. Salute to the women that's doing their thing and all that. MLB is doing their thing, you know what I mean? But it's still kind of slowish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still kind of slowish, but when you a great podcast, how we are, we keep it interesting. You know what I'm saying? We make our own topics and do what we want over here. You know what I mean? And again, we know ESPN is laying off, you know what I mean? So, Keyshawn, you know what I mean? You want to come on over, you know what I mean?
Glad to have you on, brother.
You want to put some money behind us and have it like we told Jalen when everybody ain't dancing in your podcast.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You come on over to Skyzone.Society East. You know what I mean? We got you. Because we come up with great topics like this one. You know what I mean? Now this next topic, this ain't for the youngins. This ain't for the youngins though, Corey. This ain't,
I'll sit back and learn a thing or two.
You sit back and learn a thing or two. If you ain't, if you in your 20s and stuff like that, this ain't for you. This topic right here ain't for you. You know what I mean? This for the, the crowd that was there. You had to be there. You know what I mean? When certain NBA players or athletes came out with a signature sneaker, you had to be there to understand the impact, because it ain't like it is now. You know what I mean? It's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Corey, ladies and gentlemen of the Zone Sports Podcast, we got a great debate. You know what I mean? We got one. I think it's gonna be a smoker, because I don't know how Corey gonna go. I don't know what he gonna do, but I don't even know what I'm gonna do. But we gotta talk about it, y'all. Who had the better shoe? Between Gary Payton, the glove, and Dennis Rodman?
God almighty.
Corey, I gotta let you go first, man. Who had the better sneaker, bro? You know what I mean? Because there was both iconic shoes, both iconic players. You know what I mean? And this is for the sneakerhead. You know what I mean? This is sneakerhead basketball talk right here, man. Who you got having the better sneaker, man?
Dennis Rodman. But it ain't by far. It ain't by far though, Big V.
No, I just gotta say, every answer is definitely no pushback on, because you can't go wrong, man.
That's exactly where I was getting ready to go at. If you kind of like that sleek, clean look with the backward swoosh, them Gary Paytons, man, even a few of Dennis Rodman's had the backward swoosh on too, but I'm talking about the Gary Payton, man, it's just smooth. It's just smooth. But what I'm trying to do is put myself back to when these shoes was out in the 90s. And which one would I have went for? And I would have went for the Dennis Rodman. The Dennis Rodmans, man, they had so much going on with them, where the style was it's just really, it's yo, what type of food do you like? What type of woman do you like? What are you into? There's no, like you said, Big V, there's no wrong answer to this at all. But boy, Dennis Rodman, man, he got some killers. He got some killers. When you want your shoes to make a statement, this is, to me, during the 90s, in my opinion, the shoes was damn near more important than the jeans that you had on, the shirt that you had on. And see, when I look at the Gary Payton, the glove shoes, it's to me, in my opinion, it's already complimenting what you got going on, depending on how you dress. But see, the Dennis Rodmans, to me, you set your wardrobe around the shoes. You almost, Big V, you work from the bottom to the top with those Dennis Rodmans, Big V. And what I tell you, man, when you get those Dennis Rodmans, you get the shirt to match. You get the hat to match. You get the jeans to match. You know what I'm saying? The Gary Paytons, depending on what type it was, and shout out to Gary Payton shoe, because again, you ain't going wrong. Yeah. It's just the style. You dress yourself from head to toe or from toe to the top. And see, back during the 90s, Big V, I dressed myself from the toe to the top. Real quick, I remember back in the day, I had a pair of green suede Reebok Classics back when they were super popular. And you know what I started doing, Big V? Even though I wasn't a fan, I would get a Boston Celtics hat because it had the green in there. I would get the green polo shirt because it had green. I made something that I tailored for because you only getting one pair of shoes per school year. You ain't getting no daggone. That ain't happening. Not in my household, Big V. So I say, you know what? Cool. I'm getting the green suede back when they used to have the Reebok suede versions for $25 at the Foot Locker. I built my whole wardrobe around that. But that's what I say. It puts me in that mindset of man, Dennis Rodman has some killers, Big V. Slightly. It's just a matter of style, though, Big V. What say you, man? I can talk about this for another 15, 20 minutes, but we ain't got that time, Big V. If people don't want to hear me yip yap all day, what you say, brother?
Oh man, again, this was man.
Good question. Ladies and gentlemen, he brought up the question. He's excellent with this stuff here. Good stuff.
It was just on my mind. I'm a sneakerhead, man, and I never had a chance to get either one of these pair of shoes.
Me neither. I won't pay for nothing.
You know what I mean? So I couldn't. These, back then, these sneakers was $110, $120, and that was expensive. You know what I mean? Back then, and man, I've been thinking about this topic all day.
It ain't easy, right?
It's not easy, Corey. I'm I'm gonna have to go with a slight edge to the Dennis Rodman though. You know what I mean? Because here's why. I remember specifically the commercial with Dennis Rodman, and I want to, and I could be wrong, but it was him and George Gervin. In the barbershop getting haircuts. It was a Nike commercial. I could be with George Gervin. Mike wasn't there. Mike wasn't in there, but I know Dennis Rodman was in there getting a haircut in the barbershop. And it was a slight camera that angled down to his sneakers.
Yeah.
And Corey, it was the first sneaker I had ever saw with the backwards check.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? This is awesome. What is this?
It was almost like a rebel. It was almost like he was rebelling. Like, you know,
because style, his personality, right?
It's so Dennis Rodman to be like the pioneer of the backwards check. He was the pioneer because it's Rodman. It couldn't be a regular kick. But here's the thing. That backwards check was like everything to the sneaker because the black pair was like all black and it just had the white backwards check. And you like, yo,
it's insane.
The white pair had like the green backwards. Rodmans were insane, bro.
Yeah.
To this day, I need a pair because they were that insane. Not to take away from the glove, because the gloves were insane. Wrong with the glove. Boy, do you remember the gloves had the part that almost like the bag on the shoe, almost like
almost like a tarp type of.
It had the zipper on it. Yeah, the zipper part. That's the check right there on by the zipper. And let me tell you, man, if you saw somebody on the basketball court wearing those gloves, they could actually play defense. It's like all the defensive people that were really nice and D had the gloves, bro, and you knew it. Like, oh my God, he got the gloves on. He probably can play a little bit of D. And I remember people coming to school with the zipper halfway undone.
Man,
like it was crazy, Corey.
And it was clean. I mean, it had such a clean look.
The gloves was clean, bro. That was clean. Yeah. Like I just give a slight edge to the Rodmans because, like you say, they were more, in my opinion, a little bit more fashion oriented. The gloves were kind of look more of a basketball sneaker.
Yeah.
Than the Rodmans did. You know what I mean? You only knew the Rodmans were basketball sneakers because of who they represented. You know what I mean? But I gotta go with the Rodmans, man. I just do. Man. I do, man. Salute.
I tell you, I wish I was working back then so I can afford all these sneakers. I mean, and no knock to the sneaker game today. There's still some good ones out there. But man, like you said 3 million times already, it was just something about the 90s where if you was worth a damn as a player, you had your shoe.
You had your shoe, man. You had your shoe. Like my closet is full of all the shoes that I wanted as a kid. The Deons got them. You know what I mean? The Grant Hills. Like, you know what I mean? I got a couple pairs that I've been longing for. My latest addition to the collection is I got my hands now 2 pair of the Jason Kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was stoked about that. I was so stoked, Corey. I was so stoked. Bro. So stoked, man. I was so stoked.
And I tell you what, to top it off real quick, man, like, you know, exactly. I wish I had the money because and I told you this before, one of my favorite shoes were the Charles Barkley's.
Absolutely.
I got that. I messed around and got that for Christmas. That was a Christmas gift. Forget the Nintendo video game. I want a pair of them Barkley in the same deal. I don't wear a lot of purple, but I got the purple to coordinate with all that stuff, man. And I tell you what, one shoe that's on my bucket list, even though it's not a athlete shoe per se, but it was super popular. It was the first high top Nike Air Max, all black. Martin wore it in one of his episodes. It was the Air Max 95s, Air Force 95s. And I see some on eBay, but they don't have them in my size, bro. You know, I can't. I need a 13, Big V. Pause. I need a 13. The highest I see is like 10 and a half. Can't get it. There was the Air Max 95, the Air Force Max 95.
I'm gonna have to look them up.
All black. Martin had them in one of his episodes. I can't remember. I think it was the one where Martin was trying to get on a diet, and Gina was like, "Oh no, we gonna put gravy on. I can't remember the name of the episode. Martin had on a pair of those. Couldn't find them nowhere, and there was $140. I could not get them back then.
Hey, salute to Martin, because Martin used to come through in some fly sneakers all the time. The J's, he had the Gary Paytons on once. You know what I
Yes, he
mean?
did.
He had some Paytons on. I think he might have had on some Rodman. So he used to keep some fly sneakers. You know
Yes, he
what?
did.
Martin was ahead of his time. I was watching Martin, and I know we're gonna get back into the topic real quick, but just real quick, I remember watching Martin here like within the past couple of years and realizing that one episode that Jerome had on some MCM. He was wearing MCM. I was like, yo, back then he had the MCM on. Like, yo, if y'all don't
that
know
was a big deal back then.
Bro, if y'all don't know what the MCM, it's a big deal now. It's still expensive. You don't know what MCM is, look it up. Like I promise you, it's expensive. It's through the roof. Like rappers still rapping by MCM to this day. I mean, they still rapping by they still wearing it too. Yes. Yeah, man. Yes. We're gonna still keep it NBA though on this next topic because this is a smoker topic too, Corey. This is tough. You know what I mean? This is a tough one.
Big B done did it again, ladies and gentlemen. He done did it again. These damn think pieces.
Yeah, man. And I gotta know, you know what I mean? And everybody that's watching, I want y'all to chime in too when y'all see this, man, because this is great. I gotta know. You starting your team up, right? And you getting down to your power forward / center. You got a guy that maybe can play both positions. Who are you choosing for your starting roster, Corey, between Tim Duncan or Alonzo Mourning? God, I know. This is tough.
This is a question. Depending on how the day is going and which day you ask me on, my answer could possibly change. This is another one where this ain't
as easy as it might sound if you know basketball.
Let me tell you. Am I going first or you going first?
Go ahead.
Now, I told you in the last episode that before I was a Lakers fan, I was a diehard Charlotte Hornets fan before they moved to NO, yada, yada, yada. Check the last episode for my thoughts on that. So I got an emotional tie to Alonzo Mourning and Grandmama. That's where my heart is at. But you asked something very good. You're saying you're starting the team. Mm-hmm. So that's putting me either in head coach, general manager, or owner mode.
Yes.
And so I have to also account for the fiery nature of Alonzo Mourning. Not saying that he was bad, because I don't mean he was bad. He'll let you know what's on his mind.
You need some fire on your team.
But then it's kind of like, man, you got Tim Duncan. Greg Popovich yelled at him like it was something sick. Almost the same way that Bill Belichick did Tom Brady.
And he stood there like this.
And he sets the tone for your team. It's like, look, I'm the best player. I'm arguably outside of David Robinson, the best player on this team at the time when they was the Twin Towers, where, man, if Greg Pop could yell and bitch him out, who am I? And that kind of sets the tone. And you got a Tim Duncan who could bring a rookie in to be like, hey, man, look, young fella. I'm not saying that Alonzo Mourning can't or have not done that. I'm not saying that either. But I remember when, and albeit it was on separate teams by then, when it broke my heart. This is how I know that everything ain't always unicorns and rainbows, okay? When Larry Johnson got traded to New York, Alonzo Mourning was still with the Hornets, and they got into a fisticuffs fight. I was like, wait a minute. I thought when you used to play on the team, even though y'all not on the same team, y'all are still the best friends. Like, what are y'all fighting for? And see, again, not knocking it because I got a fiery personality. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten into it with people at work before. Like I've at past jobs, I've threatened to take people in the parking lot so we can settle this. If you really feel that way, sir, good day, sir. What did you want to do, Big V? And then, but does that make me a good leader? Does that make me someone that could kind of, because see, when I did this, Big V, I'm gonna bring you behind the curtains a bit. I was a manager when I did this. I'm supposed to be leading my IT troops to say, hey, man, just say no. Hey, man, you got a problem with somebody, man, come see me, man. I'll talk to him about it. But then I'm up here wilding out like we in death row saying, yo, let's go to the parking lot. You got a problem with how I'm running something because you're talking real froggy over there, Big V. That's how I'm used to handling things. And see, getting back to the NBA, could I picture Tim Duncan doing that? And my answer would be no. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know. He is super tight lipped. I mean, hell, he had a daggone commercial. I can't remember the company it was for. It was some SUV where he gets pulled over and he says nothing to the cop. He just smirks and smiles. You don't get anything up from Tim Duncan other than sheer greatness. So for that reason, and that's the only reason alone that I would slightly get Tim Duncan. Man, the big fundamental, man, I mean, he's a freaking model citizen. He's a beast. He reminds me of David Robinson, the same demeanor. Man, that's just, that ain't to take nothing away from Alonzo, because Alonzo got that dog on the court. Big V, I done rapped on long enough. What say you, brother? Damn you for this question, by the way, too. Because I feel so hypocritical.
I get it, and I definitely understand, because this is tough. You know what I mean? I told like this is tough, man. I think if I'm starting my team, Corey, I think I'm gonna go with Alonzo Mourning.
Why?
I like a little bit of grit to my team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
And again, you cannot go wrong with either one. Both been class acts the whole career.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Both went on to be legendary NBA players, clutch NBA players too. I think a lot of people forget how clutch Alonzo Mourning was for the Charlotte Hornets. I think they do.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people forget how great his mid-range game was. It was insane, Corey.
Yes. Yeah.
He was automatic from the free throw line. I think people forget about that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh man. I'm like you, Corey. I like fiery players. And Alonzo was a dog, man. He was the dog of the dogs. You know what I mean? He actually, like, I think he actually set the tone for players like Draymond and people like that. Again, if I'm building my team, I want somebody who's gonna be fiery. I want somebody who's gonna hold people accountable. I'm not saying Tim didn't do all these things, but I want it to physically show. I want it to verbally show. I want that. I want you to know when you come in to play us, you got to deal with our dog. And you know what I mean? And you knew when you was going up against Alonzo Mourning, you had to deal with them elbows, Corey. You know what I mean? You had to deal with that back down game, pause. You had to deal with a lot that came with him, Corey. It was insane. Yeah. And the same with Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? You had to deal with his mid-range game. You had to deal with his three-point game. You had to deal with his handles. You had to deal with his passing. You had to deal with everything that came along with him. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, in my opinion, still don't give Tim the credit just because he didn't show how physically fiery he was. And that's not me. I know how great of a guy and a basketball guy that Tim Duncan was. Yeah. He was an animal. Even at Wake Forest, he was an animal. I came in here and told y'all about Randolph Childress a couple of hours ago. Him and Randolph Childress was insane together. Man. You know what I mean? Insane. It was insane. But if I'm building my team, man, I know just the type of player that Alonzo was, that grit, that gritty, you know what I mean? That dog, that we're not taking anything from any team. We're gonna go out here and we're gonna compete. I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna dunk on you. I'm gonna let you know when you get out of hand. I'm gonna let you know that you can't come in this building and do what you think that you're gonna do. I want you to know that every time you come down here, you're gonna feel me, pause. And I love that about Alonzo Mourning. I love that. I think I would start my team with Alonzo Mourning, man. I think so.
And I tell you what, Big V, real quick, you know, you're coaching either one of these guys. Either one of them just made your job super easier. Mm-hmm. Basically a coach and a leader on the court, which is what you want. And it's definitely missing on some teams. You know, you go real quick, like to the whole Memphis with Ja Morant scenario and Dylan Brooks, man, had a Tim Duncan or Alonzo Mourning type of player been on that type of team, man, that stuff would be nipped in the bud with ease. With ease, no question. And we probably wouldn't even know about it.
I just remember as a kid, me trying to shoot my free throws like Alonzo Mourning. Yeah. You know, he used to get to the line and take his hand and go like that. We know with his wristband, you know what I mean? Yeah. About 3-4 times. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why I liked it. I think
he got the routines.
He would maybe say a little something that we don't know, you know what I mean, to God or something. And we shoot him, and he will be automatic, man. And I just some things I just remember about Alonzo, man, that I love. And salute to both of them guys, you know what I mean?
We ain't losing with neither one of them.
Either one of them, man. You know what I mean? And we definitely not losing with our great fans that just keep supporting the podcast. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody that watching the YouTube shorts, the Instagram clips, have you catching the show pause on Twitter or Facebook. We appreciate y'all, man. Keep the support and love coming. Pause. We love y'all. You know what I mean? We salute y'all for rocking with us with our crazy topics. You know what I mean? Whether we being serious, funny, you know what I mean? We definitely appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Keep the support up. Thank you, man. Corey, you know I appreciate you rocking with me every single week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, likewise, brother.
We are almost at episode 80. 80 of them joints. You know what I mean?
Already.
You know? Come on, man. Who y'all know, you know what I mean, on this level that's still giving you 80 podcasts? Some of y'all done gave up by now. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of y'all start and stop. You know what I mean? This ain't for the faint of heart. You know what I mean? You think it's easy. It's not easy when you got kids and all this other stuff and trying to arrange the schedule and come up with the topics and keeping it entertaining, you know what I mean, while still building a little bit of fan base. It's not easy. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all think y'all gonna get in this game and just $1 million gonna appear out the sky. You're gonna suddenly become the Joe Budden podcast or whatever. It's not like that. At all. You know what I mean? At all. You gotta grind this thing like you gotta do everything else. That's it. That's all. Salute to all the grinders. Salute to all the hip hop heads, and salute to all the hustlers out there. You know what I mean? But y'all know how we end this thing each and every time, right? Peace.